Okay. Let me just get everything else running. Let me just get everything else online right now. Make sure that everything is fine. But I'm here. Just need last on Facebook. Okay, we are officially live everywhere. Those who are just logging in now, please let me know if you can hear me or if I need to change something with my audio. For those who are watching me for the first time, the reason why I do this is because I will talk and I will talk and I will talk and I will talk, and then the comments will go, oh, but you can't hear anything. And that time, man, I've gotten one of my most amazing rants. And then I have to turn around because my sound is not working. So those who are joining me just now, please just let me know that you can hear me while I also do my check as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start the show. Welcome, everybody, to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mokwena. I am your host. This show is on every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon. And then also Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. We come back at night. Alison Tabby, thank you so much for the confirmation. Thank you so much for the confirmation for the sound. If you want to watch any of the previous episodes, they are available in full on Facebook and on YouTube. Very, very amazing. I have panels of people. We discuss the burning topics of the game, but we also do reviews like we are going to do today. If you want to add your voice to the show, like my esteemed panels, just know that you have to join me while I'm live on TikTok. And follow the account. Then there'll come a time where I'll tell you guys that I'm opening up the lines. Then you'll be able to request by clicking on the button at the bottom of your screen that says multi-guest. If it's not appearing now, it will appear when I tell you. And then you can join and add your voice live to the show and be part of the panel. Okay. So we had a match last night, as Sinje called them Snake FC. Sinje with the burner. So Sundowns played Supersport yesterday. They beat Supersport 2-0 to make it 9 games in the league. 9 games, right? 9 wins, no losses, 19 goals, only 3 conceded. They were second for less than 2 days. Cape Town City had overtaken them, but less than 2 days. They're back on top again, and it doesn't seem like any other team will be able to catch them. But as you know, when we had matches, we can always listen to the coaches and what they've said. So I'm going to bring in Coach Rulani. Shout out to Masandawana fan vlog for supplying the images. Unfortunately, there's nothing I could find with Gavin Hunt. So let's hear what Coach Rulani had to say about the game.
To everybody, members of the media. Congratulations first. I have to start by congratulating the football club, the technical team, the players, especially as always, an incredible team, incredible human beings, and the supporters, of course, for getting the bragging rights in a derby, which is very important. Congratulate the team for setting another record and breaking, in fact, and setting another record, 9 straight wins for the first time. A record that's almost been standing for 2 decades. So incredible what this group keeps doing, and the hunger and the desire to keep going. And to beat a very good side, a very difficult side. Supersport is very tough to beat, you know. Always organized, physicality, set pieces, throw-ins, standard situations, so difficult to deal with. But I thought the players did very, very well, and we created so many chances today. I don't know how it stayed only 2-0. You know, we had so many chances. Peter could have scored a hat-trick. Lucas could have scored maybe one more. Lebo Mabue had another 2 very good situations. So, but okay, good 2-0, limited to limit Supersport with the percentage game that they play to really have chances. I don't remember Ronwen having to make a very serious save. So yeah, very proud of this group and proud of the performance and the fact that we won.
Members of the media, I'll open the floor for some questions. Kindly identify yourself as well as your media publication.
Kensani from Mamelodi Sundowns. Evening, coach.
Evening, Kens.
My question is still simmering in my head, so it's not fully complete. But I hope we find each other. 2 weeks back, you spoke about what's the word?
Relationism.
And I spotted how Lebo was moving around Blesser every time he hit the ball, and how Blesser was moving around Lebo every time he hit the ball. And again, on Sunday, you spoke about playing players on merit and not just to give minutes because you are resting players for other games. How, I don't even know if the question is how satisfying is it, or how do you get these guys to you spoke now of hunger. How good is it, or how satisfying is it for the technical team for a player like Blesser, a player like Lebo to come on when you don't have Marcelo, you don't have Mishishi starting, to give that type of performance?
Very satisfying. How do we do it? Well, you need good football players who are good human beings, and it's not always nice talks. We have to push. But it's my job. I have to do my job. I'm paid to help the team to get results, and unfortunately, I sit in a position where I'm extremely privileged, where I work with very good players who happen to be very good human beings, and then I've got the support of a very good structure from the entire club, from senior management all the way to the technical team, and the objectives are very clear. So a lot of credit needs to go to everybody involved at the football club, because it's not a one-man show, So, but it is extremely satisfying to see that type of performance with and followed up from a performance that was against a difficult Najibu team, and then to see, I thought Musa was amazing today. Musa was brilliant. Brian Onyango was excellent. Rushin was good. Ronza very stable, zero mistakes even in the build-up. Now Maema is coming slowly. Lucas was unbelievable. Tapelo is also getting his feet coming. Peter, with pressing and movements, and he gives the team so much. Lebo gave us a lot, especially in the midfield. Him and Blesser, the connection and the movements to help us to get to the next line. They were very good. And the subs were very good. Shishi was excellent. Looked fresher, mobile, connecting passes and helping us to play, and with a bit more control. And Tebza came also again, gives stability, experience, connects passes. Gaston comes in, good attitude, tries to help the team still apply the pressure from the top. It was so nice to see Sifiso Ngobeni also on the pitch. What a good Ngobs is such a good human being. I wish I could give him more chances to play, but as I said, he has to compete also for his position, and it's tough there. There's AB, there's probably even a Modiba in that space, which is not something I like, but it's Modiba. There's also Terence now, who's really also improving and getting better. So it is satisfying, and they've got to take a lot of the credit, to be honest with you.
Take the next question.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in right there. If you do want to watch the full press conference, there's still 15 minutes left of this press conference. It is available on Masanda Wana Fan Vlog on YouTube. Shout out to them. So head on over there, watch them, especially for these type of matches where, guys, we don't have much press conference footage we don't even know what Gavin Hunt said. So thank you to Masandawana Fan Vlog for coming through for us in that regard. So I want to start it off by saying 9 games played, 9 games won, brand new record, another record that was held by Chiefs that has been broken by Sundowns. This Sundowns team is on fire. 27 points out of 27 points. They've faced what we all had said is the second best team in the league. That faced them in the League Pirates, beat them. Now the third place finishers last season is Supersport United, who we also were like, you know what, guys, let's bring in some reinforcements. This Sundowns team is incredible. I think what they're doing this season is so great, and I think what's the most shocking is that they're not hitting you over the head with a hammer. They're not killing you. They allow everybody to feel as though you're in the game. Like when you're watching a game and you've watched their games up to this point, you're thinking, man, Supersport could have scored 2, Pirates could have scored 2, Uzbanbali could have scored, Chiefs could have won that other match. All of these could haves and should haves. But when you look at the results, it's all wins. First time, like he's saying, in a very long time, in almost 2 decades, where a team goes 9 games unbeaten. And I think that is the brilliance of this Sundowns team. If you look at the stats, 16 shots, Supersport, only 10, Mamelodi Sundowns. 4 shots on target, Supersport, only 3, Mamelodi Sundowns. But they buried them. Possession still 69-31. They've completed almost double the passes that Supersport United, over double the passes Supersport United did. Like the accuracy was off the charts. It doesn't look dangerous. But at the end of the day, when you play against them, you are more likely to lose, which is incredible, guys. I likened it last night to those drinks, man. You know those drinks? Engati juice, man. But then you drink a couple of them and then you wake up and it's tomorrow. You know, that's how Sundowns is. You think you have a chance, you think you're pushing, all of a sudden it's 2-0 and they're done with you. Supersport United started very brightly yesterday. They started very brightly. They were pushing, they were pressing, they were playing Sundowns at a highish tempo for the first bit of the match. And they looked like they were out to give Sundowns a game. Got a little bit too excited, left 2 defenders in the back, abandoned their defensive responsibilities, and Sundowns took advantage a few times. Before that first goal, there was a clearance off the line. There was also another clearance right before, if I'm not mistaken, and then Sundowns scored. Then Supersport United again fell asleep during that free kick. Wonderfully worked free kick. Take nothing away from it. But a team shouldn't be scoring those type of goals against a professional team. If you get my drift. But it was a beautiful goal, nicely finished by Ribeiro. Was there a hint of offside? We don't know. I'm not a VAR person. But anyway, guys, I'm going to open it up and let the panels come in. So it's 4 at a time. You have to be following me on TikTok and join me while I'm live on TikTok. Then we can have a discussion about what we saw from this game that was played between Supersport United and Mamelodi Sundowns. Also, sidebar, first home game for Supersport United because they've been playing their home games in Polokwane. So it was nice to see them in Pretoria, fresh, not having to drive 3 hours to go play in that game. But let's hear what the panelists have to say. Kumo, can you hear me?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Karke agent. Hey, agent.
No, he's right. I couldn't hear you earlier before.
Oh, okay. No. I'd muted it for the video.
No, my network is always good, guys. I don't use these things.
The Mutsepe Foundation network sometimes. But let me go. Come on. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. Sharp, buena.
I'm good. I'm hearing people saying they can't hear me. Wait, let me check something. Let me just make sure of something. Yeah?
They meant earlier. Now we can hear you.
Oh, is that fine? You can hear me. Okay. Kumo,
Okay.
what did you see from this game, Kumo? And welcome.
Thank you, yeah, man. Yo, like my team, yo, Mamulambo. Hey, you know what I think, ne? Because I'm paneling, I think we can hear you because you're on the panel, but the guys can't hear you. It has happened before on TikTok Lives.
Don't tell me that we're back to that same old problem that we had before.
Yeah. Keep Chiefs.
Let me try something quickly. I'll be here just now. I just want to make sure of something. Pap. Can you guys hear me now? Because I'm seeing as well here. It doesn't seem like multicast. Okay, I'm gonna try it one more time with this on, and just tell me. Apologies to those who are listening elsewhere. Seems there's a little bit of an issue here. Okay, can you hear me now? Am I still audible? Because for me it looks frozen. What's going on? Okay, let me let people on again and see. Maybe that's what it is. Kumo, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, there we go. Fixed. There we go. Hey. Kante bora ko mai ba tle ya ke etsa. Ke ipuela ka Sundowns man. Tell me. Oh, we don't hear you now. Look now. Go on again.
Aye, manage.
Follow some feed,
but no, guys, I can hear myself now. Okay, you know what? I'm going to carry on. Kumo, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm happy, man. I'm so happy. And yourself?
I'm okay, man. I'm okay. Get la ring. I'm still living off of my 3 points. Tell me, what did you see from this game?
A little goes a long way. Yo, man. Remember when we lost to Pirates via penalties? What did you guys say? We told you our squad was fatigued. No, you got the best squad. Yeah, you got the entire players. Yeah. Look at now. I don't want to say this is a B team, but these are some of the players that haven't been playing in a while. When you can say it's about French players, and for them to be able to produce the same quality as the normal starting 11, it must be difficult for coaches. Who do you plan for? Because the only constant that we have in this lineup, we get the goalkeeper and obviously our 2 strikers that are healthy. But other than that, who would have thought Rutembo's one wouldn't be playing? Sirinho Alendava Dengi, Modawa Dengi, and the people that came in still produced, bruh. I'm happy to be a Sundowns fan, to have such quality in all positions. My only flaw got it, there was no Mabena, because I like them. I like the kids when they play. Bruh, how many? At this point, those Chiefs have records anymore?
Man, if you guys would just leave our records alone, please. That's all we have.
The thing, the only record that you guys have now, having the most fans. That is gonna take years for us to topple. Yeah, agent, I made a mistake. This team, I like what you said. They make you feel like you're involved in the game, but they kill it off somehow. Which is worrying because of this Sundowns team's little humble compared to yesterday's. Remember we used to get 6-0, blah 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 blah.
It could have been, to be fair to them, it could have been Boma 6, but you guys didn't want to score towards the end.
Yeah. But it's always been into it's full. But at least to get a goal either regardless. So at least the Supersport law could have scored against if they had composure and they could have scored. One thing about this game, it was a derby. It's not as big as that other derby, but at least we had goals. It was entertaining, man. I like how we were playing. I really have no complaint. Just felt we need to get more goals. That's all I can say.
People love being entertained. We're all entertained when we're winning, Kumbo. When we're winning, guys.
Yeah.
Let me go to Agent. Agent, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, people will incriminate themselves on this show one day. Eh?
Me, I tried. I jumped it. I skipped over it. I heard it too. But tell me, what did you see from this game?
I just put in the I just put in the, what do you call it? The highlights now, and I've paused the second goal, man. This one is a clear onside, eh? If they don't VAR, I can VAR them for them, you know, because the player who is making the rook, you know, I'll try and send a picture to the group, but the player who's making the rook is making a Rebiro onside, just the player in front of Onyango, you know. So that was a legitimate goal, you know. And I get when you say it's a professional team not supposed to get score like that, but who thought of it, you know? It is what you call an element of surprise, you know. So I think it was just that. I don't think they can try it 3 times in a game and they score it, you know. I think it's just an element of surprise from downside. And I think congrats to Coach Lofman. I think I see why Coach Mlungi wanted him. Yeah, I think he's helping on the side of set pieces and also on the assisting part of it, you know. And I think it's the overlapping, you know, is the ambidextrosity of the technical team, which is up in Sundowns. You know, look at Coach Wendell, goalkeeper coach, but also helps on the tactics and set pieces, you know. So I think that kind of utility is helping Sundowns a lot. And I think Sundowns has been dangerous on set pieces, and we've been good on defending set pieces. Because last year, we considered a lot of set piece goals, you know, and I think this year that has reduced, actually have now become dangerous on the opposite sides. And I think it kudos to Umlungisi for me, because it looks like he learns, you know. Last year we lost to our dad, we lost to Supersport. This year we've won against Supersport, you know. So if there's anything that I like about Umlungisi is he learns and he corrects himself, you know. And then what does it, you know, I think there's one player that I've always liked, but I didn't see future in Sundowns, you know. That is the young Pizzo, you know. He was good, he's good, but he was always a youngster, kind of our South African youngster. He's never growing, you know, he's never maturing. And I think we have finally found a position for him. He's not a playmaker like Ozwani that we're trying to make him. I think he plays well in double pivot, you know. I think the game against that team that you pronounce, I think you pronounce the name for me, and Supersport, they double pivot and yes, that one. What the presenter said. So yeah, him in a double pivot, I think is working, you know. I like it. I think I see him. And then Omabo, man, when I see well, man, when are given chances, you must grab them doing Kulis grabbing, you know. When you misses like this and we have Abu Zwani and others on the bench and Abu Serino, you're in trouble, you know. I think that's he has to up his game in terms of converting. And then Uribeiro, I think I'm starting to like him now as a 10 instead of a striker. I think him just playing behind the strikers and giving those passes, because he has an eye for a goal and he's deadly, you know. One thing about Ozwane is Ozwane will give you the pass, but he's not deadly, you know. He'll get a chance and you'll miss it, you know. So yeah, I'm impressed by Ribeiro in the 10 there. And then I think, what else? Oshalulile, man. Like I said, I need to ask Opta Jabu for his breakdown of goals that he has scored, because I think he has scored with every part of him, you know. Greater instincts, not comfortable on the ball. I'm not even sure he knows how to trap the ball, but he somehow awkwardly finds the net, you know. So I'm impressed with that. And on the Supersport side, this is, I would say, one of the best games that I've seen Hunt playing. playing wise, not result wise, but playing wise. I think this was one of the best performances of Hunt that I've seen in a long time. Unless it was in his early Supersport days where they were wearing Amakarapa there, but it was a groupie there. But yeah, good performance.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm impressed by them, to be honest. I think they just were unlucky. They need better decision making. And against Abu, let me keep quiet. Thank you. Let's leave it there.
Hey, okay. Theo, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Mr.
No,
Oti?
I'm okay, my brother. I'm okay. Angifuni ukuyikhuluma leyo kugcina. Masingene gamini. How did you see the
But
game?
they can't even hold themselves. They can't even hold themselves. Our agent, no Kumo. Hey, excitement is over the bar. As if until they won the trophy. And they were playing against their development side. But anyways, let's not get to that. First and foremost, it was a very interesting game. A very interesting game, guys. It's been a while since we watched a game like that. I think you watch how Sundowns played. I want to just take off my head for them breaking the record. I just hope they don't win 15 games in a row. Then we know that record will never be broken.
Yes.
So I hope they lose the next or 2 games. Then I will be more happier. It will be a trophy to me. But besides that, oh man, like I don't wanna lie to you, Mayema, Mabowi, oh man, Morena. Yazi, it's so sad that you watch those guys how they fit in like a glove when they come into the system in Sundowns. It is as if Ngati they are part of the team every time. It's like you will swear that they play every game, and that's not even the case, yeah. And it's very, very interesting when you look at it in that sense. But they could have scored more than 6 goals, guys, that game yesterday. Let's be honest. You look at the chances, Yamabowi, the chances, Sharuli, the chances,
Ribeiro.
Costa, the guy, Ribeiro, like they were all over a Supersport. Where a Supersport had half chances, when they had clear chances. And to be honest with you, it's scary when you watch a second team Sundowns beating a team that is competing for a number 2 like this. Without your Zwane, your Mudau, your
Mukwenas,
Mukwena, all
hey.
those guys they are not Allende. Imagine, I even forgot Allende for a minute. Allende is not there, but Mkulisi guys, if they are playing, it's so scary. That's why I said even yesterday that I want to see their depth, and I'm very much convinced that Urulani has developed a lifeline in a sense that he knows if any player can get injured, he has players that can come in and bring a different element that will still improve the team than taking the team back. But in regards to the game, I'm a bit disappointed with how Supersport, like after 30 minutes, man, the way they started the game, I thought they were going to give Sundowns a run for their money. But at some point, you could see, man, that Sundowns, in mentally wise and also in articulating themselves and using themselves in the field, they were far ahead from them. And it's very, 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 it was very, very, very interesting. But yeah, the game itself, man, Sundowns were going to win it by far.
Okay. Koketso, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm fine, Mr. OT, and how are you?
No, I'm good. Tell me, what did you see from yesterday's game?
We are cruising nicely, Mr. OT. We are cruising nicely. 9 games played, 9 games on, breaking the records of your team, no. But we only came to fix the lock standing, then return to our African duties, So with regards to the game, I feel like SSU game plan was just to sit back and try to press us when we are on their half, because you could see they did things right. Like I think the first 20 minutes they did things right. They didn't try to press us high. They just let us have the ball in our half. Then immediately when you cross their lines, that's when they started pressing us, But the problem with that is that if one player of SSU is not in the right position, the whole structure is scrapped. Because of if you saw before the goal, Mabua got a similar chance.
Yes,
Then
clear off the line.
Then Magarman cleared it off. Within 5 minutes, the same thing happened with Mabue, and then that's when Mabue got a chance, and then he crossed it to Shalulile,
Yeah.
But and then we could have scored more goals yesterday. We could have scored more goals. Shalulile had a chance. Ribeiro had a cutback chance. Ubani lo mjita, number 25. Mudau
Oh yeah, yeah,
cutback. Ribeiro had a chance. Yeah, I think you saw it. Ne? Had
yeah.
a chance, tapping chance. No, but we played well. And one thing I love about our team now is it's because of the players who are not playing regularly, when given a chance now, are raising their hands, you know. And then it's an advantage to the team because of age. Now the schedule is tight. I think it's 9 games in 31 days. And including CAF games, because of we are now going to Pyramids. This weekend we are playing Congo.
Yeah, TP Mazembe.
Yeah, the schedule is tight. So now if these players are able to come to the party, like it's an advantage to even Rulani, you know, because now, yeah, Rulani can rest those other players. Because if you see, even on weekend, Rulani rested the likes of Abotemba Mshishi because of those guys after AFL, they never rested. Remember, we were on the road for 1 month playing AFL. After that, those guys went straight to the national team, you know. But now you can see Sundowns playing like that, like Usbu said. Imagine, we can say it's a B team. We can't say it's a B team, but let's just say it's a B team. But imagine a B team playing a Supersport regular players, first team players, and playing like that. Ah, my guy. Something is cooking there by Sundowns. It's no.
Gomnati man, gomnati ko Sundowns.
You are cruising.
Let me go back to Kumo. Kumo, we've said a lot about Sundowns being beatable, Sundowns being. I know that in the PSL, we're still going to have situations where teams won't take advantage of some of that stuff. Do you think that in CAF, it could be a different story? Because Supersport had chances, and we've spoken about how maybe better decision making would have done something. Is that a worry still, or are you guys just happy to allow people to try their best?
My brother, you know what? We can't compare KF with PSL because we've seen Norway that can actually hit us. Ne? Yes, I understand horrible actually not like Isafani, ne? But there were some moments where you can see the quality of Al Ahly. So Sundowns is beatable, but it doesn't look like any team from PSL, even to some extent, Kev would actually beat them like anytime any soon. But the thing about Kev, they don't care about playing pretty. They're gonna throw in everything, including the kitchen sink. That's how they're gonna beat Sundowns. They won't outplay us. They're gonna do something just to make sure they win. And we've seen Hore Bayrile Bang Kabafana, Gerabo, Team Telezago, why is Ele on the artificial turf? They're gonna apply those same dark cards. They're gonna apply the same dark cards because Sundowns, but luckily for Sundowns, they are much more physical. In the past season, so that's why we couldn't cope. Like we were so weak and stuff. Now we are much more physical. Now we've got our own version of the laser, which is the mirrors, so we can counter whatever they try to do. On the football field, they won't beat us. They won't outplay us. They won't outscore us. But on the dark arts, I got still new to it. But that's how they're going. That's the only way they're gonna beat Sundowns.
Is this down, this performance that Sundowns has, how much of it is Sundowns being incredibly good and how much of it is PSL teams being incredibly wasteful? Because if you look at the stats, just raw stats, they had more shots on target than you guys. There was places where Chugamanja passed differently. Is it more to do with the quality of the PSL teams, other teams?
I would say both. Let me tell you why. There's no doubt, Tore, there are some teams in the PSL that have got great quality, ne? But in order for you to actually utilize your quality and your talent to its fullest capabilities, it also depends on what opponent you are playing against, right? So you can get the best pass to your best striker, but if you don't have confidence, and if you don't believe in yourself or you can score, then it shows or you're not the best one. And Sundowns does that to a lot of people. It commands respect, and once a team has respect, they can play with you mentally. And once you're mentally out of the game, shame. There's nothing you can do to a Sundowns.
Okay. Agent, as much as Sundowns has been dominant in the league, I mean, obviously, new record, 9 games, 9 wins. Does it worry you that there are chances now when they're playing? And is it down to Sundowns being incredible that they're winning these games, or is it also down to PSL teams' decision making?
Yeah, you could. What do the English say? You create your own luck, eh? Because in an alternative world, Chiefs get that penalty, they win. You know, another team, Paris punish us there. Other teams, Supersport, and then you're talking about instead of 9 straight wins, you're talking about maybe 4 wins, 5 losses. You know, so it's a matter of saying, okay, fine, they're not clinical, okay, fine, sure. But then again, I guess Sundowns creating its own luck, you know. So yeah, I think there's an element of these 10% luck and 90% Sundowns, just Sundowns superiority. And you ask the question, do I think we can be punished in Africa? Yes, I think we can, especially if you know I'm not against the risk. I think it's a high risk, high reward. But when the game comes down to fine margins, one day you're gonna come on this stream and swear at Williams, you know, because I saw that chance against Supersport where you nearly gifted them a goal, why dead Al Ali, you know.
Even
So,
Rulani was angry, eh?
yeah,
You
he
could
was
see.
angry, you know. He needs to cut that out of his game, you know. I get you want to eliminate 1 or 2 players and then create the so-called buzzword, what is it called? Numeracy, you know. But you have to be clever about it, you know. I think he should do it in the mold of what is this Man City keeper?
Edison.
Edison, you know. Edison creates that numeracy also, but he's not that as risky, you know. Williams is borderline Allison, you know, Liverpool's Allison. So it's risky for him's part, but otherwise, I don't think teams in Africa can beat us fair and square. Not even with that dark arts, I don't think they can beat us. It's all down to maybe on a day we are unlucky, mistakes, Shadley is not firing, Williams' mistakes. And excuse me, and I look at the other teams, parental guidance, Ali when it looks at us, they shit their pants. Why that is not as strong? Why that is I advised parental guidance.
They
Please-
crap their pants. They must say
I didn't go to what is it called, eh? Military schools. So yeah, they're afraid of us. Why that is not that stronger. I think they are 8th or so. They lost the game over the weekend 3-1. So yeah, I think we can do well in Africa.
Okay. Theo, is there a risk, man? The Sundowns playing a risky, and it's just that our PSL teams can't take advantage of the chances that they do get, because as Agent said, maybe Chiefs are about to offside in the game that we played versus them, or about to offside. Maybe Pirates does something better. It seems as though there is a chance to beat the Sundowns when you play against them. Is the risk gonna catch up to them at some point?
To be honest with you, ngisahlekiswa indaba agent comparing Williams no Edison guys. No. Those are 2 different people from different worlds. Edison makes you lose, Baba. I'm a Liverpool supporter. That guy makes saves, but he kills you at the end. He kills you in most important games, as Undlela Asho. But to answer your question, you know, it's I think it's more of I don't want to say Rulani wants to make your own luck, you know. I heard him say that, and then God favors all, you know. You look at the game itself. You watch that game against Wydad. They lose that game. When they lose 2-1, they lose that game. If there was no 2 ties, they're out of the tournament. Do you understand? And then you look at that. They play against Chiefs. Chiefs gets that penalty, whatever. Sundowns loses that game. Chiefs goes to the final. So I won't lie and say, they are a bad team. I would say that they are just lucky at times, but also in the game, there are games that they play that you see that they deserve to go, regardless of whether the team got chances or not. They deserve to go because of what they do in the game. And that alone, I think, puts them a step further than any other team. As I said, they play the second team. If this second team can dominate PE Supersport, whereas they could have scored 5 goals in this game, and then you ask me, when they play against Pirates, they beat Pirates 1-0, which is okay. Was it a penalty? Not really, but did they deserve to win the game? 110%, yeah. So I would say they create more winning chances than any other team. Hence, that's why they are a step foot forward than any other team in the PSL. In Africa per se, I think it's been one of their biggest challenge, to be honest. You look at games where they play against Simba, Al Ali, you'd see that Sundowns deserves to win this game, but all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, they lose the game, and you don't understand how. But to be honest with you, I think Rulani has instilled something very important in these players that most coaches are ignoring. Rulani is not just a tactical person, but he knows how to motivate his team. You listen to what he said now. He says, I'm being paid to do my job. So therefore, if he's saying that, imagine what he says to the players. So that means when the players, they get into the field, they're not just going there to play. They are getting there knowing that the coach knows what is required of us, because we also are getting paid. That alone puts them in a better mindset. So I think it's going to take a lot of time or maybe stamina for teams to beat them. I think they can maybe lose a game where they get a team that will score maybe 2 or first goals first half. You remember what Chase Galaxy did, and then they get a team that does not go and defend. And then a team that says we're going to punish them if they attack, you understand? If TS Galaxy does not defend in that game, I promise you they beat Sundowns 3-0 or 3-1, you understand? But for them to defend, they invited Sundowns, and then they actually put themselves a knife in the back. So I think it's possible to beat them, but you need to get your chances right and bury them in as much as possible. Yeah.
Okay. Koketso. I know team how, but it seems as though a lot of this is that go PSL, they know that they're not going to be punished. They know decision making any team, they're not going to know what to do. They're not going to do it properly. How much of it is it actually a risk? Because in this game, in previous games, you can point to chances where maybe the other teams could have made it 1-1, that type of thing. Is it risky? Is it actually risky, or is just Sundowns that good?
Mr. Otine, I think it's not easy as it may seem. I think it's not easy as it may seem, because if you check, for example, go AFL, we only conceded 2 goals against Sweden. Despite that team, oh, it's 3. No, it's 2, ne?
Yeah, it's 2. Yeah, you guys won.
Go Pedro. I think they had a penalty. They were, but you managed to win. And then again in the league, if you remember correctly, Sundowns this season is minimizing chances for opponents. Because if you check their stats, like the previous games, it's either teams have 0 chances or less than maybe 3, like shot on target. Even your team, when we played you, I think you only had 1 shot on targets both games, and those were goals. Yeah. And then also against Pedro here at home, we got the red card first minute, I think. But Williams those guys didn't bother Williams. They only had 1 chance of that Brazilian captain. It was a header chance, and then Williams only saved it. That was it. But we played the whole game with a less player, And then another thing is that we are a ball playing team. Even under pressure, we still play the ball in the 18 area. So obviously we are bound to make mistakes. We still gonna make mistakes. Like mistakes are gonna come. But then if teams don't take their chances, Sundowns can get only 2 chances, like only two chances, then the game is over. So it's not the matter of we are maybe invisible. We are like visible. We can be beaten, but just know we are a team that this season we are minimizing chances for you. If you get your chances, use them. Because if you don't, we're gonna get only 2, then we win the game.
And you know what's crazy? If I can just jump in, how this Sundowns feels for me, if I can explain it. When you play FIFA, and you jump from world class to legendary. And when you play legendary, it doesn't feel that different to world class. It's just that when you make a mistake, the computer scores, you know? So it becomes a lot about your mistakes than it is about how incredible Sundowns is. So Sundowns knows that they can play at 80% and finish all of their chances. Whereas in the PSL, the moment these teams start playing Sundowns, they lose themselves at some point and they start making mistakes, and Sundowns takes advantage. Kumo, I wanna give Sundowns props. There's a maturity to this year's Sundowns where it doesn't seem as though you can rush them. It doesn't seem as though they get scared even if it's 0-0. They get scared whether somebody's attacking them. It doesn't seem like anything can fluster them. Can you feel that as a Sundowns fan, and can you explain it, man, how it feels, that thing, Yoguti, man? You never change gears unnecessarily, if I can put it like that.
One thing that I've noticed about this team of mine this year, ne? We don't respect anyone. Like, we don't fear anyone. But one thing that I've noticed, like, if you want to see Sundowns really play well, is when we are almost beaten. Like, I can give you, like, we've got a red card when Mvala and his friend, the goalkeeper, do their thing. You can see how solid we are defensively and how tight we can be. So if you really want to push Sundowns, and if you do eventually push Sundowns to the limit, you can see the different combinations, chameleon work there, going there and there. That's how, because of, like, I feel like when we have easy games or everything is going our way, we become too complacent and we become too wasteful. We just want to just play. Even though we're having fun, but like, we just play in J. So maturity, obviously, it's props to my master. I get him the biggest disciple. Our coach, Mulungisi Pep Guardiola. That guy, he has learned. Pep Guardiola. We can also enjoy. I get he's got a long name. Why it's Mokwena. So that guy, man, like he's a really, like, he's a true student of the game. The things he does, like, he knows how to play dirty, he knows how to win beautiful football, and he knows what to do. One thing that I've noticed about Sundowns, I've never seen these Sundowns have any ounce of panic in them. Besides, yes, penalties, our trigger word. Penalties are really cool. Mara, we make sure we play where we don't get penalties. The quality always shines through, despite if we are two men down and there's 9 of us left on the field. We always play, we always remain to our structure. There's no panic. The maturity is there, the class is there, the talent is there. So this team, man, honestly, if I were to criticize game more, God, I will be nitpicking. Obviously, I get it. The problems that we have, and like everyone knows them. Game Williams, maybe also when we don't have players.
Maybe when he's on the wing. Maybe when he's pulled out to the wing.
Well, if he's on the wing,
he's fine.
Better, if he's playing for 3, yeah. So yeah, that's the only problems we have got this team. Koro, I wanna honestly, like, I can see who we there, and I don't wanna sound arrogant. Well, I am arrogant. But I really wanna see this Sundowns team against the best one. So if that FIFA Club World Cup can come in, so I wanna see who are we really the best, or we just the best more Africa or domestically.
A big fish in a small pond.
We've outgrown this pond away an ocean, man. Yeah, I want.
Okay.
I want to see.
Let me bring to Agent. Agent, same question to you. I mean, my previous question was about the risk that Sundowns plays with, but also props to Sundowns. There's the maturity, man. You don't panic. 2-1 down versus Whitehead. Played your game, carried on until you got those 2 goals or paced up when you needed to. Supersport and many teams throw everything at you, plays the game the same, scores the 1 goal, the 2 goals that are needed, moves on. Can you speak a little bit about that maturity?
Yeah, hey, I hear schools of what is the name of the schools, man, that you guys are attending, eh?
Yes,
Heritage schools,
we must take it
Model
out,
Plus,
man.
eh? Is it Model C? Model C, Model C schools, Model C schools. Where is Sinje, so that at least I can shine on Sinje, you know?
Mara, you guys and your vibe, man.
No, man, hey, this Model C schools are running with me, man, students. So at least when I have those ones. Uh, but, you know, I think Sundowns has evolved into a scary thing, you know.
What's that word? Model C, thank you. You can carry
Yeah,
on.
our scary thing out, but
Evolved, eh?
but I think it's now I want you to say a certain word now you're stopping me. But anyways, I think what I like about Sundowns is one of Sundowns' strongest point is that wing. Is it our left wing where we have Mashiro, AB, and Mudiba. I've been waiting for Mashiro to click, you know. And I think they're very key to what we want to do as a team, you know. We're at a place where we don't have one style of play, you know. I think I showed you the video there where Glenn was saying Sundowns team will try and go through the middle by hook or by crook. They want to force it and force it and force it until it comes. If it doesn't come out, Sundowns loses, you know. But now Sundowns can play. I think this is the chameleon where it has different colors, you know. We can play on transition. We can play. We can loop the boss over. We can patient build-ups and everything, you know. And I think is that adaptability where we know when to slow the game. We know when to improve, when to slow the game. We know when to make it quicker, you know. And I think, and we know when to kill it, you know. I think that's one thing that has always killed us. We didn't know when to kill games. We didn't know when to slow them down. We always played at one tempo. We didn't know when to increase it, you know. So now we see that such kind of things, you know. And I wanted to highlight that wing that I'm interested in was, I think, when we want to have more build-up play, more control of the ball, you have AB to do that, you know. When you want to have numeracy in midfield, you have Mutiba who comes in, you know. When you want to play more quicker and crosses, you have Umashiro, you know. And on that other side, you know, even though nowadays we don't do it that much, Mandau is faster, is quick, is doing everything, but there's a point when we need to play it a bit quicker. We have Umarena, you know, and we're in a position where now 2 or 3 players can play 2 positions at the same time, you know, such that when we get red cards, you know, doji or not, we're able to bring in a player who's going to play 2 positions and doesn't look like we're short, you know. That side, if it feels like we're losing a game or we're 1 man down, we can bring in a Morena. You know, Morena's going to play as a winger and as a defender, you know, and then you have Okwetsi who plays as a defender and a midfielder. So I think this is the kind of maturity that you're highlighting, that it's not just maturity in terms of tactics, but in terms of personnel and in terms of how to approach the game, you know, and I think it's helping us. I think that's one thing that we've always needed, you know. Back to your question, previous one, teams can now play well, you know. Sundowns has always played well, but failed to win, you know. So now we're at a point where we don't have to play well, we just know how to win. So yeah, I think that's maturity on that side, and I think it's in part thanks to Coach Gulani, you know, and his years and years and years of experience, you know. I think they bring in videos of Abu Pizzo and the experience of Abu Pizzo and everything. That's why now, I think it was 3 weeks back where I was like, how can Bafana say they're not given the right bars, right training facilities and stuff? But Sundowns, they get this for themselves, you know. Like coach, not coach, but analyst, that Egyptian guy. I saw him in his other team in Mazembe, you know, in Jackson, already, you know. So, and also the organization, I think that's the maturity. That's not just in the football side, also outside football, there's that maturity. Yeah, Khaled, yes. Okay. So, yeah.
Okay. Theo, there's one thing your coach always says. Your coach always says, I wish my players were a little bit calmer. I wish they were calmer.
Calmer.
This one would have gotten a chance if he was calmer. Sundowns seems to be calm. No matter Nyaba Pressa, no matter Nhlezemuva, no matter they're 2-1 down versus the Witted, they're just calmer. Can you speak to that thing, man? Man, they have this thing, this aura now that they're not going to speed up for you. They're not going to slow down for you. And they trust. They'll even give you chances, but they know they're going to win this game.
It's so into enginyisa we busy praising Sundowns while icoach yethu mhlawumbe ilele nje ehotela yazi nokuthenzani yabo. But anyways, to answer your question, even though silimale enhlizweni while simele sipraise Sundowns, the first thing that you need to also look at, Mr. Oti, is the fact that investment. The Mutsipes, this was not an overnight job. Look at where Rulani has been, guys. Let's not over. I'm one of those guys that I'm saying Rulani still has a lot to do. He has a lot to do. He has too much potential. Hence, I'm saying, Guti, you look at what he's doing now. He's proving certain people, Guti, I should not be in this league, guys. I'm far ahead of every coach here in this league. That's why it's gonna be cool. Yobafundi, Sabo Kevin Hunt, people who have had more than 30 years in the game, which shows to you that you are dealing with someone who doesn't just deal with the experience, but also who's acquiring as much knowledge as he can and consuming it as fast as he can. You look there alone, that should tell you the kind of players with the pedigree of the technical team that he needs to have. That means if you are not a logical thinker, you might not even sit around Roland. You understand? You see, I think they are there because they add something. If you don't add something, it cannot be there. You look at the players that they have, guys. It's so sad that you look at Mashiho. You can tell, man. I'm sorry to say this, and I know Mashiho, guys, is average. Mashiho is not a Mudiba replacement. You cannot do that. It's actually a down payment to say you can replace Mudiba with Mashiho. But you can see when he is playing, the way that Sundowns is playing, you will say, wow, this guy is good. But if you have to isolate him alone, outside of everyone, you can see that he has a lot that he needs to improve in. And you look at Kulisi, guys. Kulisi has, imagine that boy disappears for some time. When he comes in, you see his fingerprint, you see his handwriting. Okay, yeah, he was there. So I think there's a lot of things that Sundowns have put into works. And also, the analyzing of the game for them is too much than any other team in the PSL. That will show you, Guti, even though we can depth them in games like finally MTN AD, maybe finally NetBank, it does not take away the spark that they have, the creativity, the hunger, the desire. Imagine these guys are losing 2-0 to a TS Galaxy team. They get a red card. You would think they would be down. You would think they would be struggling, but instead they are moving the ball in all areas as if they don't care. You understand? That alone for me, it tells you which the tenacity and the hunger, the desire, the love of the game that is in them is beyond words. Yeah, I don't want to lie to you.
Okay. Koketso, your team, man. Kibuile before this about them being risky, and it's being a big risk. But you don't feel as though there's a risk. Sometimes when you're risky, at some point, you start rushing, or you start playing fast, or you start trying to do something. Team Alona just carries on playing, whatever the game plan was for that game, up until they finish and they win. Can you speak a little bit to that quality of Sundowns?
When Sundowns plays their normal football, you'll get hurt. You'll get hurt. Sundowns, like we are patient. We are draining opponents. That's our football. We are a patient team. Rulani used to emphasize that extra pass is important. When you play for Sundowns, you must not be scared to play. Not that when the ball comes to you in the 18 area, we are risky. We are risky. We are playing inside the 18 box. You're not supposed to kick the ball out. They're supposed to be calm and play. And then I can bet with a majority of people. I don't think majority of people knew that Ronwen is this good, even with his feet. Up until he joined Sundowns, that's one thing about our team. We tend to unleash that potential in a player. You can come in our team, being that player and being good, but when you come to us, you'll be extra good. Like you're gonna be a great player, you know. No, okay, obviously not all, but majority are improving, you know. And then I also feel like last season's CAF experience helped us for this season to be the way we are now. I think it's last season's CAF experience, you know, and also the coach we have. Rulan, like, it's very smart. You know, I hear some people saying Rulan is not a good coach, blah 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 blah, good players, but how do you justify when he goes to Africa and compete with big teams like Al Ahly, Wydad, like the Esperance, and still does good against those guys that have the very same quality like players like us, the money like us, but still he outsmart them? Will you say Rulan is still not good? No. And then I also feel like again it's the mentality this season in the camp. You know, those guys are. You can see the love also. There was a point where Shalulile missed a sitter given by Mudau yesterday. He fell. After that, I think 3 players went to him and stood him up. Same time. You can see the brotherhood there. When a player scores, doesn't matter which team you play against. When the players, and you'll never hear Sundowns players shouting at each other. There's a difference between shouting at each other and just giving your teammate and opponent in a proper way. There are teams whereby even teammates they fight with each other because of my guy, not young Joel, man. But you'll never see those things at Sundowns. And like I'm saying, my guy, being calm is the shoe shine and piano style. When playing for Sundowns, you just have to be calm. Just have
Okay, no. Go get thank you so much. Thank you to the first panel. Let me get the second panel in so we can give Sundowns their flowers. Unzima, they just broke our record, but yeah, we have to give credit where credit is due. Kolani, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Uthi ngiyaphila bese unjani wena?
Hayi mina ngi-right. Ubone ngale game ayizona?
Shushane nipiyano. Bathi nikogqoke ngaye. Bathi nikogqoke njengaye. Bathi ungayilahli, ungayiwaste. Bathi thinte kabili izongcolisa amashoes akhe aneshushane nipiyano. Da fesu. Hey fesu, izolo it was business as usual fesu.
Yeah.
Business as usual. And sometimes inako lo kade ukusho ukuthi it will give ama team hope, yabo. But uma ufuna ukubona i-potential e-Sundowns, score 1 goal or 2. Uzobona ukuthi i-Sundowns is capable of doing what, yabo. So into engithanda kakhulu bese teamini yami ile nto esho koketho mfethu, i-brotherhood mfethu. Bayasupportana, even umuntu engadlali mfethu, you could see mangena igoli how many players from the bench ayo celebrate ne player elkorini, yabo. Uyabona nje ukuthi hayi silaphana somndeni and akekho umuntu ongasenza luso masihlangene kanje, yabo.
Okay. Ngizobuya ngisafuna ukukhuluma impela ikunikeza i-chance man ukukhuluma ngeteam yakho. Dala, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you? Then,
Hola uthi ngibingelele ipanel, ngibingelele nama-overthinkers la.
hey, i-network ikuphethe. Now, abantu basiphulela ama-record.
Uthi angikhona uthi ngikhona uthi.
Okay, no stress. Bengithi now abantu basiphulela ama-record. Baphula ama-record wethu wonke man.
You know, iMamelodi Sundowns iyafana njengomalume osebenza egoli bese ngabo December aye ekhaya, and then ezizothola ukuthi umshana uyabhema, and then ashaya umshana bese January abuyele egoli, business as usual.
Now overhead of Supersport.
You know, abo Cape Town City man ba disappointer. Uzohlala for 2 days kulog, and then the next thing number 2. You know one thing ukuthi i-league manje is very very predictable now. We know ukuthi vele Sundowns is gonna come back and reclaim the lead
we know ukuthi i-Sundowns whenever they are going to play against Cape Town City izohola. And iSupersport nayo beyilaphana ku-position 2. At some point they were bebekhuphuka like besibabona number 1 but bahluleka. So I'm very disappointed ngeteam kaKevin Hunt because I saw a free kick opportunity that was meant for Ulaila K. And then Ulaila K gave that free kick opportunity to a player Elshaya right, but free kick left. So I'm very disappointed in Supersport ukuthi whenever they're playing against Sundowns, they wanna play like it's like they're trying to play in Sundowns and they couldn't. The way they bedlala ngakhona bedlala ama long balls too much. The only thing I saw in Supersport it was ama long balls too much and it didn't work. So I feel like Sundowns ibafundisa isifundo. Imfundisa isifundo Kevin Hans nama players wakho ukuthi this is Mamelodi Sundowns. And another thing masingabheka bafethu Sundowns isiwine kayi6 le league le. Mina angifuni ukuqamba manga. I'm not gonna praise uRolani Mokwena kwamanje. I'm not gonna praise because if we are gonna say Rolani Mokwena is far ahead ukudlula bonke abacoach la ku-PSL then sinamanga because akakaze awini i-MTN so far i-Nedbank Camp isamhlula. So the moment when ezoqala ukuwina wonke lama domestic cups, that's when I will say Rolani Mokwena yes is cock. But for now I feel like Sundowns is still doing what Sundowns does, which is dominating the league. Seems like the league they're dominating the league wire and I do understand why he managed to bench Abo Island and stuff because of I feel like the match coming here can TP Mazembe. It's a big match, but it's Mamelodi Sundowns versus TP Mazembe. It's a big match because that's the only team who Rulani Africa. That's the only big team in Africa who Rulani angakashaya, which is the TP Mazembe. TP Mazembe akashaya Rulani. So okwamanje asiboneni makadlana abo TP Mazembe because that's the only big team in Africa angakashaya. TP Mazembe, but TP Mazembe is the only big team angakashaya. So yes, uRolani Mokwena yes is doing wonders Sundowns, but asimnikezeni ithuba bafethu is not the greatest coach of all time. Asimnikezeni ithuba, let's see what he's gonna do kulamanye ama domestic cup. But as far as the league is concerned, lapho ku-league uyadominator. There's no one that is gonna catch uRolani Mokwena here ku-league. So i-league is officially done, it's officially over.
Okay. Before I go to Flo, I just want to send a shout out here to Ulutando Msawawa Makubane there on YouTube. You're in the house. I hope you're still in the house. Cornelius says Mkulisa Academy product reminds me of Xavi Hernandez. He's amazing, that boy. Another record, 33 games unbeaten in league games. Hey, Linda Mama records the floor. It's in the network today. Hasn't been an hour. We always want to speak, Mara. In network always gets in our way. How are you, my brother? Simbuzo ukuthi ukhona today uFlo.
Come on, Flo.
Manzame othi grand bro grand.
Igrand now sase zakuthola mara ngiyazi ukuthi uzokhatha now. Uthina
le network.
Hayi sizazama futhi another day. Ulini? Flo. Hayi man, Mthandeni, welcome to the show. How are you? Mthandeni, can you hear me? Hey bana, Xolani, can you hear me?
Yeah, ngikrene uthi ngiyakuzwa bese.
Yini ngathi uBram Mthandeni ulele.
Mute button lapha. Oh, asimuze.
There we go. Ugrand mara.
Mfethu ngikhona fayani Brian.
Hayi no mina ngigrand ngitshela uboneni kule game ezona.
Bruh, one thing mfethu we should do and we should be thankful about Emhlabeni is that South Africa is starting to do well in sport. That game yesterday showed ukuthi we got a lot of individual brilliance. If you're looking at that game, there were a lot of positives from both sides. Yes, Sundowns won the game, but watching Umakamen this season, what a player. The boys is doing well, and to see so many products at Sundowns, which are South Africans, that tells you we
we head into that direction. Coming back to the game, I think we discussed a long time ago which Sundowns as culture and they're sticking to their culture. They're doing like for likes, they're buying like for likes. Whenever they go into the market, they're doing likes for likes. Taking into consideration, if you're looking at whether kudlala uMayema, kudlala uAlende, kudlala uModiba, it's one and the same thing. Whether it's Ribeiro starting, Umshishi, it's one and the same thing. That shows you which the culture is being implemented, it is there, and the team is gelling very, very well. Credit to Mayema, he showed it's been long. That free kick out here, jealous down in fact was out of this world, bro. It's one of those things that has born every day. It's one of those things that has told it anywhere. So credit to Rulani. I think that thing cannot just come and do it game in. That thing is being practiced. China, we are one of the guys who watch football throughout. We don't watch football my TV. We follow them to their training grounds. This is what they practice mostly. Those one-on-one situations where Payumshishi must minus one or two guys. It's what they practice every day. Of which comes back and tells you, the more you invest in football, the more you get good result. The so-called big teams, I think we need to follow Sundowns, invest more in football. Yes, salaries are there to be paid, but I think psychologically it is critical to invest more. That is when you're gonna get such equipment to do, because whatever they are doing, whatever Roland is doing, is imitating from Manchester City, from Pep Guardiola. It's imitating there. So that tells you, Gucci, even the equipment they're using in sport ground, the field. I'm not sure if you have checked how they're training at Club Corp. They're no more having those free kick stand boards. No, they have the ones that jumps. That tells they have the latest ones. The one that I only saw them in Bayern Munich, Real Madrid when I was watching some of the tunes. But that tells you which that's me said with whatever they're doing. Even if I try a free kick, that thing knows how far the guy's gonna jump and how we gonna hit the free kick. So that tells you which what I'm about is that it doesn't strike much in terms of telling the South African coach or national team coach what needs to be done and which players are there, because we do have players, bro. We do have players. I still don't understand. It took long for coach to select Mayema, to select Mutau, to select Zwane, Abumvala at the back. I don't know why Mayema is left out. He was not playing, yes. Tapelo Morena, that shows you. Mkhulise, wow. The boy is like, I think he's 23 if I'm not mistaken. Let's just take him there. Asambenai in this upcoming tournament. Let them have experience. I think the more we invest, the more we're gonna get stuff. But credit to Rulani, I'm very happy for the man. He was at Pirate. He was gonna get something, fortunately, but they let him go. So sometimes my trash become your treasure. So yeah, it's one of those things.
No, I hear you, my brother. Also, just like to send a shout out to Pumindo Beni, who is watching on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube. Yeah, you're everywhere. Thank you so much for the support. Let me go to Steve. Steve, how are you?
Sure, brothers. How's it?
No, you're right. Tell me, Steve. I'm good.
Yes.
How did you see this game? Supersport United, Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah, before I go there, let me give you a shout out. Let's give you flowers, bro. Let's give you flowers.
Thanks, my
Thank
guy.
you for this platform. Yeah, I can see you are not giving up. You are pushing, and then just keep pushing. And then also, everybody on this live, let's support you by giving you gifts and most importantly the likes, so
Thank
that
you, my
your
brother.
channel can also grow. You know what I
Thank you,
mean?
my
So
brother.
thank you for that. Yeah. Yes. So just coming back to your question, Mina, I think in Akuzan, it's Sundowns. And let's just agree with we will forever have chest pains at this moment. Yeah, chest pains are just going to be part of our lives. Until when, I don't know. So Sundowns, they played a very decent football yesterday. It's a Rulani type of football, starting with the selection. I think Urulani, the talent pool in that squad, they know exactly your starting 11 / 15 players that you're going to have on the day. They plan for your starting 11 and even for your substitute, and they know which players to select for whatever squad you're going to bring on the day. So I think for them, currently it's working for Sundowns. It's working very well. That's why even when the teams bring out their best teams, by the Sundowns, they've got about, I don't know how many teams they've got in short, how many players they've got in short corp, probably about 30 players. So they know which one to handpick for a specific game. So I think so far that combination is confusing a lot of coaches, and is making some teams look very basic and ordinary at this moment. So that's my analysis. And just on the negative side for Urulani, Urulani, unfortunately, I will not give him credit engabo because Urulani found a finished product at Sundowns. Upito is the one, and Upito Nomangoba, they built that team. We have not yet seen Urulani playing with his own team. That's to me, I still regard that as a Pito / Mangoba team. And Urulani, obviously, yeah. So it's easy. You can do two things. You can take the best team and mess it up, or you can take the best team and take it to the next level, which is already a finished product. I think Urulani, not that he's a bad coach. He's not a bad coach. No, he's not a bad coach. But he found the material that is there, and he's continuing with the material. Now he just need to make sure when the team, because every team has hit a slump somewhere. He's going to hit a slump somewhere. When he hit a slump, I just feel to Rulani, he doesn't know how to take pressure when things go wrong. I feel sorry for him when he doesn't know how to talk. He doesn't know what to say. But so far, so good for him. Let's deal with the chest pains until this roller coaster is over.
Okay. Hey, we were taking our chest pains and we're trying to sound diplomatic now and give people flowers, Sundowns flowers. Mara, it's still sore. Where's Theo? They're in the comments. Let me go to Tolani. Is there an element of risk in how Sundowns is playing? Because, you know, the Sundowns of old, Yabo Pizzo, would come in and hit you 6-0. You would know you were beaten. This one, niggas are my chance nyana. They let you come, they let you try. But Chigi Mauvuga, it's 2-0, game over. Is there an element of risk?
Angiboni kanjalo mfethu. For me, I think it's kuba ile amaphutha amancane from individual players because mawuzobheka ama-stats, shots on target, senza ama-players enza show ukuthi they limit ama-chances opponent yabo. So iphutha kube mhlambe elalebusa like leyo bad pass le yabo. So I don't think ukuthi siye gamini thinking ukuthi are we going to give them chances? God, when it matters the most, we're going to kill the game.
Yeah. Okay. Dela, same question to you. Is there an element of risk to the Sundowns? As we've been saying, but we're not about 1-0, 2-0, but it sometimes feels when you're watching them that these teams, man, you could probably get something if there was a little better decision making from some of the players.
You know, Uchi, I listened to Ugulani. I think it was pre-match interview. He spoke like tactics Sundowns the way corner. It didn't sugarcoat anything. The way corner, like whenever we're playing against any team, we play the same way we play against Abu Widat, but our team seems like you won. I just choose Sundowns if you are shy. If you're gonna play long ball, Sundowns is gonna play short passes. If you're gonna play maybe ngama wingers, Sundowns is gonna play here, midfield 2 minutes here, midfield. So I feel like Orulani, I feel like upete is scope or a memorandum. Yeah, every team here in the PSL with how they play, how they attack. Like what predict a wonk my team. So there's no way there's gonna be a team dominated Sundowns here. Like league, I'm talking about because imagine so winner since
Nine
iqalile
games.
Sundowns iyawina 9 games in a row. That's lento leza azenzeki noma kanjani here in Africa. So this shows ukuthi ukulani une memorandum, une scope, unembuzi for every team azodlala nayo. He knows ukuthi ama strengths and weakness. You know Supersport, the way bedlala ngakhona izolo beyithembisa but the way the first goal that was scored by Orivier, that's one of the best goals engwabonile so far here ku PSL, because seems like uyayazi with Supersport they wanna bafuna ukudlala i-highline here whenever zoba yi-set piece, and funny enough uvele wabeka uRibeiro lapha, and then umayema uvele washaya cheap. So it's one of those things ukuthi you can't teach a player. So Sundowns seems like they don't teach a player to play football, they also teach a player to think. Bakufunisa nokucabanga la Sundowns endoda cabanga kanje ungaveli ucabanga kuphela njengamanye ama-players wabona. So it's one of those things ukuthi nathi as i-South Africa we don't have ama-players that are technical gifted. I saw Ribeiro izolo, I was like alikho i-player here la eMzansi elingayenza lento le elingacabanga lento le. So it's one of those things ukuthi ezinye izinto i-Sundowns I feel like they are improving ama-players kakhulu, like they have their own thing bona abayenza, and it seems like thina we are as it told, and it seems like the teams are not getting it. So I feel like i-league yes izoyiwina iwine futhi, like i-Sundowns is doing the Bayern Munich era lapha eGermany. So what you are witnessing manje ku-Sundowns, mina I won't lie, mina ngiyayithanda i-Chiefs, but angizokusho nje caca ukuthi we are not gonna compete ne-Sundowns okwamanje. We are not gonna compete ne-Sundowns because i-Sundowns the league already it's a farmers league, and i-Sundowns are Bayern Munich. Even if ama teams azama kanjani, but Sundowns will always find a way to win. So it's one of those things ukuthi yes singasho ukuthi uPitso and some nabo manqoba mnqitsi, but we also have to give a credit to uRulan Buffett. Mina ngiyalikhuluma iqiniso, uRulan is not my favorite coach, but kwezinye izinto I feel like yes yena hayi unasi scope sama teams, unayo imbuzi. Like I know ukuthi ne team eza like mina angibhethu I don't do i-punting, but I know ukuthi there are people that are betting Sundowns like 10 games to come ukuthi Sundowns will win, and Sundowns will win. So it's one of those things ukuthi ayikho into esoyenza uthi yazi vele sibukele ibhola hayi sesosupporta nje ama teams wethu, but ayikho into esoyenza bafethu hayi bedile.
Itike kuKwabini, how are you my brother?
Unjani futhi?
Hayi ngiright bute sizathini sibukela i-Sundowns mane, fans of football, ngithi wathi sama fans of football. Tell me ubone ngikule game ezona?
I not Sundowns abayiyeka abayiyeka Sundowns mfowethu. Sundowns ngayenza noma yini, qhamuka nasiphi iskimu izokwenza lento edingakalayo. Yabona i-Sundowns ngiphinde ngicomele out le yabo le out le yase Brazil. Hayi bafethu sisasekude kakhulu eSouth Africa ngokwebhola. Yabona iBrazil bafethu ukuthi nje ukuthi eSouth Africa siyilento esiyona. We have to accept ukuthi nathi we need ama foreigner players like amanye amakhanda where they stealing their players. Yabona kunabadlali kwiSundowns ofanele wasibanjwa nje kudala. Yabona manje Serena simbambeza ngekehla. Serena ofanele wasimthathe kudala kubafana bafana. So iSundowns bafethu inswempu asiyekeni. Yabona igame ezolo hayi Supersport hayi isazofuneka compete ngoba kusasenzima ngisho eAfrica kuyona hayi asike siyeke nje Sundowns izenzele izinto zayo, but ke sizoqhubeka silibukele ibhola bafethu.
Ayithi siyalithanda ibhola, it's just that kumele sithande ibhola labanye abantu, akuselethu ibhola lethu. Sibukela i-Sundowns and we have to find joy lapho.
yazi awuthami hey ngeke ngabuka ama-game, yabona lama team esingabuka akulowa division bafethu, hey kunama entertainment football kulowo ma-team kuleyo league leyo. Ngeke ngabuka if uyayilandela le iMotsepe League khona i-team othiwa isinenkani yasebhizana. Hey baba i-Sundowns into engihlekisile izolo ibidlalile nto idabi, but ngithe mangibuka idabi ye-Sundowns ngabuka le dabi ebengiyibuka eyale team yase-Eastern Cape ngathi ayikho lento le but ke sisazofunda sisazofunda kancane kancane.
Okay.
Nami njengoba ngiyothatha ikhaphu nje, hayi angina stress.
Uzithathela ikhaphu, right?
Ngiyothatha ayikhali ngihamba na ngeke ngishawe ethi msukazi.
Okay. And let me bring it to DK. DK, welcome to the show. How are you?
Sure, man. How's it?
No, I'm good. DK, tell me, what did you see from this game last night?
Well, I mean, this is a system. You see, it's very difficult to challenge a system because it's a machinery that took a long process to put together. And if you look at Sundowns, they've got 3 teams. They've got the team on the bench, they've got a team that is in the field of play, and there is a fusion of what is on the bench and what's at any day. They can bring anyone in any position. They can. That's why Kulisi can come in, Miami at any time. So I think 30 minutes before the game, you don't know which Sundowns you're going to play against. So it's difficult to also plan against them. You know, and I don't blame these other coaches who only have one squad. Probably have fringe players in one possession. I mean, if you look at Supersport, at left back, other than Lake, who else? Or center back, other than Hlatswayo? Is there any name? Is there any name if you are saying to them, tomorrow, let's play this cup, I give you 100 million?
Yeah.
You know, Hlatswayo is injured. Who you going to bring? Same with all these PSL teams. So now, I think Rulan is privileged. It's like the likes of Guardiola. I mean, to have been in the position that they are in, where the management is supportive to give you all the resources. Because he just recommends. The scouts, I mean, they get everything that they need. It's like children in your house when you have got the capacity to take them to better schools. It would actually be their problem if they're not doing well. So that's the same thing with Sundowns. I mean, look at this guy, the Brazilian, the one who scored the first goal, Ribeiro. That guy it's a very tricky player, that one, and he's strong physically. He's not a crybaby, and his combination with Shalulile and Serino, the same way with Zwane, the runs those guys make, it's very difficult to contain them for any defensive lineup. So these are some of the things that I think it should be a lesson. But I'm shocked because the other 2 teams in Soweto, they've got the financial muscles. I mean, you can go to Botswana, you can go to Zimbabwe, you can go to anywhere. I think they don't have the better scouts. Because these foreign players, when they come, they don't really come at a high price. Unlike the likes of Allende. You still have the guy who's the Onyango.
Yeah.
Even the guy who came from Wydad, he was not that expensive. Why didn't they scout such players? I mean, these teams that in Egypt, there's guys playing for Pyramid,
the Future. Oh, DK, did I lose you there?
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Somebody was trying to call me.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying at some point Pirates brought 2 Zambian players. I forgot the name, Mulenga and the other guy. They were actually a great bargain for Pirates. That season they performed, they contributed, the team did something. So you wonder what these guys like Bobby and but Pirates, I see there's a little bit of activity in terms of the market. Whenever it's open, they are very, very busy and they bring young blood. But Bobby and them, I mean, the Gonzalez guy, that's very questionable decision for me. I like this Saile. Saile he's got pace. He's physically strong. He needs that support. I think you've got this guy as well, the South American.
Castillo.
They need a lethal guy like Shalulile in the box to play the ball to. They don't have that. But there's these guys who can bring the ball into the box. But now what happens if the ball gets into the box? There's nothing, no activity whatsoever.
I want to jump in. I want to jump in there because the second question I'm going to ask is going to lead into this. So I'm going to come back just now. Let me go to Kolani. Kolani, what can other teams learn from Sundowns? Because DK is going into where I wanted to go, and I want to give him a proper chance, but let everybody speak as well. What can other teams learn from Sundowns?
For me, I would say if it's like Keta a technical team fit and management mustn't interfere. Because right coach with technical team item bio, and also who bang interfere in the scheme and put trust on him. But niggas in his card if it's and go for my players I think more talented players face like abantu right if it's I about buy one get one free face. So first when last the shifts ithenge nje umdlalo kwakhulunywa ngayo kwathiwa ubiza imali engaka apart from uDoli.
Now Udoli was coming back from that side.
Ukuthi umdlali udlalela iColombia is from Colombia, it doesn't mean ukuthi that he's good. So for me first I think it's trust nje abantu abaqashile and give them time first. And babe transparent first, baba support financially noma sekhona ama ikenge mzabalazi ufuna ukubashaya, they should come up and defend them.
Sekeleni guys, ipetwe iyashaya. Please. Let me go to Kwabini. Kwabini, what can what can we learn from Sundowns? Now lapha noqijimpi wenu ngaliqijimpi wenu. What can you learn that side?
Brother, i-one into efunekalayo. Labantu abafaka imali. Motsep ufakile imali kuphela. Motsep ufakile imali wayibeka ezandleni eziright ezisebenzisa ngendlela esharp. That guy got a lot of support. Yabona ama-scouts e-Sundowns. Ayayazi into ayenzayo. Abadlali not ukuthi uhambe uyothenga umdlali nje uthenga okay nanga umdlali like lo athengwayo yenye team lo ngathi umdlali we-basketball. Hayi no. Well, mfethu yabona ama-scouts ayadingakala siyawadinga ama-foreigner players, but even in local we have the youngsters that asafuna ukuba negama, asafuna ukukhula. You have to mix with the youngsters. You can't just go to okay, you're saying I'm a foreigner players. You go Zambia, you go Zimbabwe. No, go outside. Kona like South Africa sinabadlali. We need ama scouts ahambela lama games lawa dlala ku Motsep League. Kunabafana balambile, kunabafana abazimisele. Ngitshela into eyi-one out yami. Intwana uzala elokishini. Ufuna intwana ithayi. Ngiyokusayina ku-Pirates or ngiyokusayina kuMaZulu. Ngeke iziloko ithini sine contract ethi wena egame negame uyadlala, igame negame uyadlala, ukuthi uhola malini igame negame uyadlala. La eSouth Africa yenziwa leyo nto leyo. Ubheka ukuthi uphethwe ubani. Yabo. So Motsep bafethu sasekuningi ofuna abafundisa abaphathi bama team ngoba ufaka imali wabeka imali yasebenza. Ucoach akangabi nabantu abazomcoachela ischeme, abazomenzela ischeme. No. Akazenzela ischeme ngokubona kwakhe ejimini kuphela. But ke bafethu sazofunda. Hayi kancane.
Okay, DK. What can we learn from Sundowns as the different other teams?
You know, other than the issue of putting money, you know, I'm gonna dwell much on Chiefs because it's a team that has struggled the longest in terms of bringing trophies in the recent time. You know, when Tanzania was available from Baroka, they overlooked the guy. He was still young. He was still fresh blood. There was this guy who was Mwape Musonda. He has proved himself. He was still fresh. He overlooked the guy. He was taken by, I don't know, it's Chiba or the other team. There was also this guy from Bloemfontein Celtic who went to Royal AM. This lady guy, man. The striker. His name was Kukuni. Litswalo. the man who has proven himself that he's not shy in front of goals. Why don't you go for such a player? You let Sukukuni go, and then Sukukuni come and get 3 points out of you using the same guy. But when you've got the financial muscle to rope in the guy, yet you want to remain competitive. I mean, decisions that are taken at management level are questionable. For me, sometimes it's not about the money. Even now, I mean, the acquisition of Sitebe, I mean, what was the idea? I mean, Pirates took another Amazulu midfielder who is a hard worker. The guy with Inchebe, what is his name?
Oh, I'm not forgetting his name.
He's more
Anyway,
of a hard worker. He's not a dribbling wizard like Sichebe, but he works very hard in the middle field. So that guy, the day they find combination with the likes of Makaring, because the Pirates player, I think, is still distracted. Yeah, Makaula. The day the Pirates coach finds a combination, God forbid they don't get rid of him because there's frustrations now with the performance on the league. But in cup games, they rise these guys. I don't know if they are motivated by bonuses, but if that's the case, then they aren't really giving supporters what they're supposed to be giving. But the bottom line is, Chiefs, I think, needs to revert back. If somehow they changed the manner, the way in which they were getting players, they need to go to those old ways. Remember, they used to get players from nowhere, and they would have a gem. I mean, they had Mpesuma, they had Musona, and a host of other guys that were very, very... They had your Thomas Sweswe. Those were quality players. I mean, if you revert back. So these are the same guys that we need. Lately, even the acquisition of this guy from Stellenbosch, who's that guy? I forgot their names. That guy, I think fans had an influence. I think Bobim Taung is too much on TikTok and Facebook.
Okay.
People were just calling for his name to be brought there. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but it was not necessary. They don't really need someone like him. It's just to make the likes of Mtanzania. You know, when you give Mtanzania a free role, like what they do with Zwane, tell him to express himself. You will get results.
Okay.
You understand? Sometimes football is about that.
Yeah.
Look at Zwane. Zwane, you don't coach that guy. He knows what is expected of him. Dolly was like that when he played for Sundowns. So was Billiard. That's what you do with your playmakers. Say to him, get me balls in important areas. If we use our wing play, we've got pace. Let him get the ball there. And then we know that we've got a lethal striker, someone who can punish teams. But at the moment, I mean, at the moment they playing the ball in the box, but then they don't have a target man. What's the use?
I'm gonna jump in there and just I wanna ask you, Kolani, I wanna give you and DK a job here. Beat me Sundowns. If you were to beat Sundowns, how would you, as a Sundowns fan, what would be the best way to attack Sundowns, Kolani?
Hey, OT. Angancela bunginikeza team and see ukuthi ama strength ala personnel onginikeza wona kanjani.
Mina ngithi nje if bathi you can have any play.
I get to my 11 strength. So awuthi ngibone ngama tactics first. Because it's going
to be niggas the Pirates. Niggas the Pirates. How do you beat Sundowns? Yeah.
Okay. I'll play the same way against Sundowns.
Oh.
Sorry guys.
Okay, no stress. So we can hear it. No stress. Don't worry. DK, beat me Sundowns, please.
You know, with Pirates, that's actually the team that I wanted to use as an example to say, you deploy the same high press. Remember, you've got more pace than Sundowns defense in terms of the front line. Pirates uses pace. You use the likes of Ule or Saleng. Defensively, you use your CBC. This other guy is Itoki and the Nigerian guy. And then on right back. Yeah, and then you can even use Makaring. I don't like Munari. It's not creative. And yeah, I mean, you tell them, when you lose the ball, make sure you get it quick. The same thing that Sundowns deployed. I think the best way, if you're trying to go 50-50 with them, because Pirates has got the material, you can compete. I think it would be an odd goal if you were to lose. You can't be embarrassed.
Is there an element of fear? Is there an element of fear when teams play Sundowns?
Yeah, no, obviously. I mean, they actually, you see, you must make sure that you don't concede an early goal. It kind of like brings the morale down, and you can't recover when you have a team that plays the ball. As soon as they score, they will now make you look like fools. They play the ball around and they keep it longer. You see, so these are the things that other teams have failed to deploy. But anyway, these coaches, remember, they've gone to different lessons and they've got the different philosophy. Same thing happening in EPL, Bundesliga, everywhere. I mean, if you are to contain Hurricane or Haaland, you know, even if you set on a video footage for that guy's 10 previous games, you still can't contain him. They fail these defenders. So it's the same thing. I agree with M. Floss when the comment says it would never work. Sometimes it's the workforce that you have.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying the system took longer. It's a process. You see what they do. Before they got rid of Lake, they brought in Mudiba. They said, no, learn from that guy.
Yeah.
The high press and how quick he retracts when you lose the ball. Now they've got Mudiba. They brought in Mashego. These guys are playing same position. They had another right back before Kulizo Mdau. I think it was Morena. Before he was pushed forward. Remember, he used to play in that position. And he's got pace. So they replaced him with a similar player. Now they've got a mentality of continuity. To say, when we lose this guy on a long layoff, I think they're struggling only in Chalulile's position. Because when he's out, getting goals is a bit of a mission. They rely on midfield players, and which is not something that they're supposed to do. They try to bank on Mutupa, but injuries have not been kind to him. He's one guy that I think other teams can snatch. He's not shy. He's very composed in front of goals. Gift Mutupa. He's been unfortunate with injuries, but he's very intelligent. He's got aerial power, and he can run.
Okay.
So these are some of the things that you need.
DK, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me, as well as Tolani, who just had to go out there. Guys, look, I think from my point of view, I've always said that you have to have a plan. I think a lot of the time, teams that play Sundowns don't have a plan. I want to borrow from things we've seen in this season. I want to borrow from Ntseki. Ntseki made sure that centrally Sundowns couldn't move and moved them down to one side and trapped them. So the right back and the right midfielder, right center midfielder, they were trapped. They did it versus Umasego more than anyone. Trapped them in the corner. Then when you attack, for me, left-hand side of Sundowns is always a little bit weak. And I'm not saying weak as in it's bad. I'm saying that either you have AB there, and if he's in the left center-back position, if you drag him out to the left-hand side, you win that battle more times than not. He gets caught out quite a bit, usually gets cards from that point. Or if you have Abamudiba, they're playing fake left-back and they're inverting. So there's always the space on that side. On the other side, Ulibusa. Not Libusa. Mudau. Wonderful player going forward, but he commits a lot of fouls. Targeting. And I think you need a little bit of bravery. What happens when people play versus Sundowns, and we saw it with the Supersport team, they started out very strong. Very, very strong. They were high tempo, they were pressing high, they were doing all this stuff. Why I praise Mamelodi Sundowns' composure is that sometimes you get too excited. And sometimes the Supersport team got so excited that they left two guys back. If you could watch their midfield, Keegan Johannes was playing midfield. He would push all the way up. And then they would push their two right and left backs up. and they were left with 2. They were caught out twice before the goal. You get excited. And why I praise Sundowns is sticking to your plan is hard. Sticking to a plan is hard because things change in a game. And what happens in the game is that sometimes you'll need to pace up, sometimes you'll need to pace down, but you can't let the other team dictate what your plan is going to be. And that's what Sundowns does so well, and other teams don't. Supersport pushed to the point where they got too excited and they got caught out. Mamelodi Sundowns plays, if they've decided that this is the line that they're playing, that's where they play all game long. Whether they're winning, whether they're losing, unless it's really bad, like the 2-0 TS Galaxy, they stay here. Manje, our teams will do the right thing for the first 20 minutes. Then for the next 10 minutes, it's going to be up and down. They're going to be doing things that they're not strong at. Then by the time they need to do this again, Sundowns has scored 2 goals. So I admire that composure. So for me, if you're going to play Sundowns, outside of being tactical, you need to be direct. You need to stick with your plan, and you need to have that belief that you can win. I think Sundowns is going to win 80% of its matches this season from fear. Just from fear. And that's what about Bayern do. That's what about Manchester City do. That's why it's tough to win trophies. Those other trophies for Sundowns, because on those games, a team is fearless because they need to beat you. It's a cup. But for the other games, they're thinking about 2 games down the line. They're thinking about how you guys have won 9 games. They're thinking about all these things that take them off of their plan. So for teams to do that, you need a little bit of maturity. That's the word I used for Sundowns. But also, guys, I don't think there's going to be a team this season that's going to do it. If Sundowns lose this year, it's going to be 2-3 games, and it's going to be the biggest fluke. It's going to be games where Sundowns does not pitch up for whatever reason, and it's only going to happen 2 or 3 times. We've already had our best chances at beating Sundowns go missing. Pirates, second best team according to everybody and according to the quality of their squad, lost. Supersport United, the most experienced coach in the league, been coaching in this league since 96, 97. He's shown every year that he can be consistent and came into this Mamelodi Sundowns team and lost 2-0. So I guess our only hope with Theo is going to be Sundowns. I know Sundowns, the Cape Town City, that maybe could do something, but we're running out of teams. And if this team does lose, it's going to be by mistake. It's not going to be something that's going to be replicated, or somebody's going to have to show themselves to be a hoodoo team. And I don't know if anybody can in the PSL right now. So just to wrap it up, well done to Mamelodi Sundowns, breaking Chiefs' record of 8 games, 8 wins to start a season. They are now on 9, plus extending the record that they already broke of the Kaizer Chiefs of unbeaten games. I believe they're on 31 now. I think it was in the comments on YouTube where Cornelius let us know. I believe it's 21 games now. So 31 games. So I don't think we're going to do anything to stop this team. 9 games, 9 wins. They look amazing. They're not even having to come out of second gear to win some games. They're not even having to blow teams away to win games. So incredibly mature, very good team. It's a very good team. You can't take that away from them. I'm not a Sundowns fan, but if there's one thing you can't take away from them, it's the fact that they play so well. So guys, I am going to then see you. Unfortunately, tonight we're not going to be able to see the Banyana game because Banyana, there's no live broadcast of that game, sadly. The best national football team we have in the country, we're not able to watch them. There's no live broadcast. So I know I'd planned the watch along, but because it's not going to be broadcast, we can't do that. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is the members show. The members show is audio that's pulled from our WhatsApp group live. If you want to be part of the WhatsApp group, you have to become a member on YouTube for just 20 Rand a month. It helps contribute to this, but also we speak offline about a lot of things. But tomorrow's show, you'll be able to watch it, but you're not going to be able to comment or jump in because it's going to be for the members, the guys who contribute to the show. So to join that again, YouTube, join on the memberships, 20 Rand a month. the cheapest one, and you'll be added to our WhatsApp group. We go back and forth a lot. Abo Kumo, Abo Agent, Abo Manemekutsu, Abo Tio, Abo Clara are there. It's a very, very, very great place to be. So if you do want to be part of that and do want to be part of tomorrow's member show, that is up to them. They come up with the topics. They talk. It's open plan, more than 4 at a time. Everybody's in. There's no restrictions. If you want to be part of that, 20 Rand a month gets you in, guys. Thank you so much. If you want to watch any of the previous episodes and any of the discussions we've had, we don't just do match reviews. We also discuss. Last night we spoke about whether former players are the right choices to become SAFA leadership. We spoke about Abu Khatebe there. We also spoke about the scouting and recruitment of teams. Why is it so poor everywhere else but at Sundowns? Those shows are available in full on Facebook and on YouTube. So do me the favor of following here on TikTok, following on Facebook and on YouTube. We are live on all of those, but Facebook and YouTube have all of the previous episodes from all of the previous months that we've been on. Very, very, very great conversations with these panels that I bring on. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you guys so much for the support. It means so much to me, just so you know. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 12:30.